YouTube, what's going on? What's the deal? It's your boy Moves back with another video. And in today's video, guys, the topic of discussion is why is everybody crashing their BMW M3s and M4s? This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while, but I never really got around to doing so. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing 3 reasons to why I think people are crashing these cars, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, and you'll be like scrolling and stuff, and you'll just see a lot of people crashing their cars. There'll be videos of dudes sliding their cars into walls and all types of stuff. So I don't know, I feel like this car is damn near becoming the new Mustang at this point. All I'm seeing online is people crashing them. So yeah, let's go ahead and discuss the reasons for that, in my opinion, and then also drop a comment down below as to what you think the reason is for people crashing these cars. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, YouTube, so I think the number one reason a lot of people are crashing these cars is because they don't understand their limits, right? When you go ahead and buy a car like this, or any fast car in general, you gotta understand that there's limits, right? You can't hop in any car and off the bat, first week or day of ownership, just hammer it traction off, right? The reason you can't do stuff like that, even if you have an X-Drive car, is because you still don't know how it behaves. Every car doesn't behave the same. Every car doesn't lose traction the same. So for me, for example, when I first purchased this car about a year ago, the first, I want to say 2 months at least, never turn the traction off. Or if I did, I'll do it in somewhere like open and empty, right? The reason I wasn't turning the traction off as much as I do now that I'm comfortable with the car, I could turn it off whenever I want. Even though I had an M4 before, like the older gen ones, there's a cop up ahead, so let me not wild out. Yeah, the reason I didn't turn the traction off even though I had an older M4 is because this car is different from the older M4, and it behaves different. It's got more power, right? Even the driving feel is different, so I just didn't feel comfortable turning that traction off. I think a lot of people hop in a car like this, and it's a very confidence inspiring car. So you drive this car, let's say you do a trick or two, or you do 2 things that you probably shouldn't have done or have no business doing in it, and it goes smoothly, then it just boosts your confidence, and then you're like, oh, I could do whatever I want in this car. And you don't know your limits, so you're gonna do some things you probably have no business doing, and then all it takes is for it to go bad one time, you know, and then boom, you totaled your car. So I'd definitely say the number one reason to a lot of crashes is just people not understanding their car properly, not giving themselves time to learn the vehicle and fully understand it, and not knowing their limits, right? So that's the number one reason I feel like a lot of people are crashing these cars. Usually when I see videos of people crashing these cars online, they're sliding it, or like they're losing traction or whatever, and they end up overcorrecting and crashing, right? That's all preventable if you just spend the time to learn your vehicle, and then also do things like that in an environment that's safe, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to punch your car, but if you don't know your car, don't punch it where there's like walls around, there's other cars, you know, buildings, that kind of thing. Go find you a big empty parking lot, do it a couple times. Once you start getting the hang of things, then you could probably get on the highway one day when there's nobody around and 4 open lanes, and, you know, feel things out a little bit. That way it's like, you know, you're safe. Worst case scenario, let's say you lose the car, you got enough room to basically be able to like not crash, you know. So I'd say that's probably the number one reason in my eyes as to why a lot of people crash. The second reason, I feel like this car's steering is kind of like strange. You kind of gotta get used to it. So for the older M4 that I had, it was a 2016 generation, the older chassis, right? That car, the steering feel on it was a lot more connected, I'd say, and raw, right? So if you're driving that car, you feel every single little input you make, and it gives you a really good like sense of what's going on. With this car, the G82 and the G80 specifically, I'd say the steering feel is a bit more numb and unconnected to the road, right? So it takes like a bit of time to get used to. It's not a bad, like, handling or steering wise, it's not even a bad car, but it's just different. So a lot of times like the inputs you make are kind of feel off in a sense. So I feel like that throws a lot of people off when they're driving this car. And like I said, if you don't give yourself time to learn the vehicle and understand it properly, and you know the steering feels a little bit strange, or you need to get adjusted to it, then you're obviously going to lose the car and crash it, right? So that's the second reason in my eyes, is the steering. If you guys go ahead and drive one of these cars, you'll kind of understand what I'm saying about that, especially if you've had like an older M car. The steering feel is just not as connected. So second reason for sure. Damn car is a missile. So that wasn't even really me punching it all the way. I probably got into it for like a split second in a higher gear right there. But third reason is the power. This car right here is a hell of a deal, guys. For the power you get and the performance you get, it's insane to think that these cars can be had for starting MSRP on these cars, I believe, is 75 or something like that for a manual or automatic base M3/M4. 75K is crazy, guys. The competitions I think are 85K starting. Either way, for under $100,000 you get all of this performance. That is insane. This car, I believe stock, was it Car and Driver? It's one of those magazines. We're able to get a 2.9, I believe, 0 to 60 out of the X-Drive car. Is that a Maybach? That's sweet. A 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds is crazy, guys. Just a couple years ago, you'd be having to spend $200,000 plus to get that kind of performance out of a vehicle, right? And with this car, you can get it for 75K ish new, right? Now obviously options and stuff add a lot of money to the total price of the vehicle. That's my boy. God damn. So back to what I was saying. For that much money, you get a lot of performance out of this car. And a lot of people get these cars as their first sports car, you know? So if you're getting a car like this as your first sports car, and you're coming out of a normal like daily commuter, normal traffic car with like 190 horsepower, and you jump in something like this, then obviously that's a huge leap to be made, right? And I think that's the same reason a lot of people crash their Mustangs, for example, because you know, it's a lot of performance for the money. So the cost of entry is lower than, say, a Ferrari, for example, or something like that 5-10 years ago. So a lot more people can access it. A lot of younger people could purchase a car like this, or their parents could buy them a car like this. Now, I'm not someone that's obviously like disconnected, you know? I'm not saying this car is dirt cheap and everyone could buy it, because it's not. At the end of the day, a $80,000 car is above average by any means, you know? So like, don't think I'm saying, oh, this is a dirt cheap car that you can get. But I'm saying though, like, a lot more people have access to this type of money and can purchase something like this much easier than like a supercar or something along those lines. And if this is, like I said, your first performance car, even the X-Drive version can get loose, right? So if you don't know what you're doing and the car is getting loose on you and you don't know how to counter steer properly or let off the throttle and that kind of thing, then obviously it's bound to be a disaster for you, you know? So that's the third reason. This car is so cheap for what you get and the performance you get. Not cheap by like any normal means, but like you get what I'm saying, right? It's cheap in that sense. So a lot more people could buy these cars. A lot of younger people could buy the cars. And you know, if you're young, you're peer pressured to do a pull or slide it or something, or you're leaving a car meet and you want to show out and stuff, and you don't know what you're doing properly, you know, that's when things go left. And it's a really confidence inspiring car. So like I said, like you could really get away with a lot of things you probably shouldn't have gotten away with in this car. But you know, like I said, all it takes is one time for you to, that's a cop right there, so I'm not really gonna wild out too much. All it takes is one time for you to slip up bad, and then that's your head, you know? So that is the third and final reason why. Now I'm just gonna probably go ahead and park up in a bit and give you guys a quick little walk around of this bad boy before we go ahead and end the video off. Now, if you're thinking, should I buy a BMW M4 or M3, and you're kind of on the fence about it after like watching this video, don't be on the fence about it. This car is a fantastic car. In my opinion, I think this car is not really that hard to drive. I think it's a very predictable car. It's not like something that's iffy or super dangerous, but I mean, with great power comes great responsibility, you know? So you can't be acting a fool every single day without really knowing how to handle this car. But once you really get comfortable with it, you'll be good. And I would definitely recommend you guys to get this car, because it honestly, there's a guy behind me. I was like, let me hurry up before he like wants to pass me. But yeah, like I was saying though, if you want to get this car, man, get it. It's reliable. It's it's very tunable. So stock, these cars are quick. Once you modify them, they're even crazier, and they're still as reliable modified. So I would definitely recommend you guys to get one of these cars. The only thing I could probably complain about with this car is that it's so good, you're starting to see them a lot more than like other cars, right? Other sports cars. So it's kind of becoming a bit more common, I'd say. But regardless though, it's popular for a reason, you know? If it wasn't a good car that pretty much beats 99% of the cars in this price segment, then not everyone would be getting the car, including me, you know? Because I was looking at other stuff at one point, but I felt like the other stuff didn't offer the level of performance, interior quality, reliability, and all of those good things that this car offered. But yeah, any sports car though in general, people are gonna have issues with, you know? People are gonna crash them, people are gonna damage them. It's an old F4 F82 right there, by the way. Just don't let it discourage you. I think a big part of the reason why people you see a lot of people crash these cars is just because of how common they are. They're more common than other stuff. You don't see GT500s. I got a little scared for a second. You don't see GT500s as much as you see these cars. You don't see Benzes as much. Yeah, check that out. That's clean right there. I used to have one of those ones, actually. I love that car. That dude got balls. Yeah, so that's part of the reason why you see a lot of people crash these cars, because they're much more common, you know? I started realizing these cars were common once I go to college, right? And I feel like out of the good majority of sports cars you see here, you see M4s and M3s probably the most, other than like a Mustang, for example. Now some of these kids, their parents bought them their cars and whatnot, which no shade to them, you know, but for me, I got this on my own. But it's low-key becoming the number one, like, daddy's money car. Sounds incredible. Alright. So, y'all see it, man. This is my BMW M4 competition, sitting nice and pretty on these sick Motivo forged wheels. These are actually my brand wheels, so if anyone's interested in a set of custom forged wheels for their car, check us out at motivoforge.com or on Instagram at motivoforged. And y'all see the carbon fiber bits on the car as well, looking nice and sick. These are also from my company, which is Motivo Motoring, right? Get y'all the rear end shot with the sick tail lights. Like I said, also from Motivo Motoring.